You're listening to the Young Buck Old Buck podcast, presented by Forest and Sky, sponsored by Chops & Co. Public Market.
There we go, heads up.
Stretch him up. Dead bird. Dead bird. Get him, Sky. Get him.
Good job, buddy. Good flopping.
You're listening to the Young Buck Old Buck podcast. I'm your host, Young Buck Daniel DeForge, and I don't have my old buck next to me. I have another young buck, Mr. Carter Grandlinard. Carter, how we doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Thanks for being on the pod.
Yeah, absolutely.
Old Buck is on the east side of the state. We are time of taping 8:52, December 23rd. Christmas is coming.
Absolutely.
You got a sweet Christmas gift. Was that today?
I did. No, that was yesterday or last night, technically. Yeah.
All right, tell the audience about it.
I got me a Montana Knife Company Speed Goat 2.0 Magna Cut steel. Man, I love it.
That sounds
super
fancy.
light, really balanced well. Comes with a sweet sheath.
How did you get introduced to this company?
I saw them a little bit, here and there as they started to grow. But really, where I mostly have heard of them is when I am, going around with KUIU as a contracted salesman. They're like one of the other people who go around to different Total Archery Challenge events and stuff. And so just being around them just kind of, caught their name. And, there's a lot of good knife brands, but I like them because they're 100% made in America. They're put together in America, 100% American-made company, which I think is really cool, being able to source it from the States.
Yeah, and then you said the specific model there, but what is the specific purpose for that knife particularly?
It's really an all-purpose knife. You can use it for skinning, boning. I'm going to use it for a lot of like ducks and waterfowl stuff, and also like kind of self-defense in some situations too, maybe. Sure. Like just being able to have something, with you if you didn't want to, have something else,
And you said it comes with a sheath?
Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
sweet.
And it's pretty good at concealment. I like it. Yeah.
Is it one of those like hard shell sheaths?
Yep.
All right.
Yep. I've got it here.
Oh man.
If you want to see
easy,
it.
pal. Well, let's back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Carter's a part of Forest and Sky, and that started I don't know, this past spring, right? Kind of May, June-ish time frame. And we've had the pleasure of doing some hunts together, but it's just been an absolute joy getting to know Carter. He has been a hunter for most of your life. You kind of grew up around it, right?
Yeah, for sure. My dad started, hunting when he was probably my age, so he got into it later. And then he had me, when he was like 30, so he was still kind of into it. Mm-hmm. And so I went with him when I was younger. I remember like 4 years old, he'd set me up in the blind and get me all situated. He's like, don't leave until I come back. And then he'll go down the way a few trees. And so in the single stand until I could watch the deer that he's seeing. And so I remember, stuff like that. And I was actually with him when he shot his biggest buck ever. And that kind of got me hooked. Yeah. And then, when I got, into like, early elementary, I started going out with him more, and just slowly snowballed.
So it started with deer hunting, but then you became friends with Will.
Yep.
And
we've been friends for a long time, but we've been friends since we were like 5. But
okay. Oh, that has been a minute.
Yeah. But we started hunting together like our junior year of high school or something.
Yeah.
Like maybe sophomore year of high school. That's when we started hunting together.
Well, and that's what I was going to say, because you really started with mainly deer hunting, and then
Pretty
it
much
wasn't
only
until like middle high school when you started dabbling in the waterfowl scene.
Yep.
And from an outsider's perspective, I don't know, would you say that deer is still far superior, or waterfowl really gets a close second, if not first?
I think it's a close second because you can shoot ducks all day long, and it'll be one of the most fun things you can do. But there is nothing like the deer that you've been wanting to shoot for years stepping in bow range. Like, bow hunting 100% over, waterfowl, I would say. But gun hunting deer, I'd put waterfowl over it.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. And, you're not just a hunter. One of the things that we have in common is our love for the Lord. Just tell
Absolutely.
the audience a little bit, like, what has been kind of your faith journey?
Yeah, I've grown up in the church my whole life. We went to a small Bible church kind of over, east of here. And, was able to have a really good foundation, grew in the Lord. My parents, grown up in the Lord too. And so they've raised me up the same way. And it's been a journey up and down, back and forth,
Yeah.
But I think in, my junior high, my 8th grade years, when I really kind of made it my own and, actually experienced the Lord for myself, which is, when I actually started making my faith my own. And then all the way through high school and even out of high school, it's just trying to figure out what that looks like in day-to-day life. And yeah, constant growth,
No, that's great. And one of the things I appreciate about you is just your steadiness. Like, you are who you are. You don't change around different people, and I've always appreciated that about you. Let's change gears here a little bit. I want to go into an outdoors update, and you have something somewhat exciting that you've done here recently. You did a trip down to Tennessee with Will and a couple other guys doing some duck hunting. Let's talk about that trip. That was at, correct me if I'm wrong, they call it Reelfoot Lake?
Yeah, Reelfoot Lake. It's a 15,000 acre lake that was formed from an earthquake and filled by the backwater of the Mississippi, because the Mississippi is like 3 miles away.
Okay, I didn't realize this. Okay.
Yeah. So in 1811, I think.
Wow.
So a long time ago.
So 15,000 acres. I mean, what does that compare to? Like, is that like a Torch Lake? Even bigger?
I don't.
Is it
what is
come
Torch
like
Lake?
anything close to what's in Michigan, or it's just like it's so stinking big, like you just can't?
I've never seen anything like it. It's huge.
Really?
Yeah, we didn't even see the full lake when we were there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's huge.
Is there multiple different hunting groups or guides on that
so
lake?
So there's like 260 blinds.
Oh my! 260 blinds?
Yeah. And so basically the state made it so that people have been duck hunting there since 1812.
Wow.
There's like there's a ton of history behind it. And there's a lot of videos on it actually. Like our guide told us to go on YouTube and watch. It's called Reelfoot Religion. And that's the YouTube video. It's made by Sheen, the gear brand.
Yeah.
And it takes you through the whole history of it, and it was really interesting. But yeah, that's where you can get pretty much all the information on it. But it's pretty cool because it appears that like that's where like duck hunting kind of got traction. I don't know that for sure, but from the way when you watch the videos, and I mean that's a long time ago too, which is just wild.
Yeah.
So,
well, you mean you're right off a major flyway?
Yeah. So right now they say you can't build any more blinds on that lake unless they burn down or they're super wore out and stuff. Then you can build a new blind, and it works how basically usually they'd get grandfathered in. So it was kept in the family.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. But the state has changed it to where once your family member dies, it goes to a draw.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So like anyone can get it.
So is this, am I correct in thinking that there's not houses on this lake?
No, there is.
There is.
It's so big. Like you'll have so many, you'll have a bunch of blinds on open water, and then there's backwater, and there's like there's swamp, like cypress everywhere. There's cypress trees in spots. Like there's just a lot of different.
So the blinds that you're talking about though are more on the public land and not on like shorelines of owned property on Reelfoot Lake.
No, yeah, it's on public land. Yep.
Okay.
But there's like one main shoreline, I'd say, on the east side of the lake where there's pretty nice houses all the way along.
Imagine.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Like really cool like docks, and then in the summer they do a lot of crappie fishing too.
Okay.
So there's also adequate spaces for that, at houses.
So if you have a blind on the public part of Reelfoot Lake, is somebody else allowed to hunt your blind, or you have like rights to that blind?
So they said legally, the guides are saying that if you get there after shooting light and no one's in that blind, if they show up after you, they cannot boot you out of it.
Oh my goodness.
So I mean, technically you could, but it's pretty frowned upon, I'd say.
Yeah. All right. So I mean, tell me about your experience.
Yeah, so it's cool because it's completely different from what we have here. Like, we'll go and hunt feeds, we'll go scout, we'll go and ask for permission to hunt the field, and then we'll go set up in the field. These guys will literally set out 500 to 1,500 decoys, 500 to 1,500 decoys, depending on the spread.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and 10 spinners and the whole get up. And then they'll just
$20,000 worth of decoys.
Dude, I know that's like the generational thing too. It seems like.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, they just set that out, and they'll hunt the same spot all 58 days of the season. And most guys will consistently kill 10, like on average 10 a day. That's what they go for.
Well, because they're probably banking on migrators,
Yes.
not really on local birds who are landing in the same hole.
Well, yeah, but yeah, they hop around the holes. I'd say
Okay.
they do want the push of birds, but you can tell there's some local birds because around there they're super smart. Like, they'll fly at triple what the birds around here fly because they've been shot at for so long.
Wow.
So like, we were sitting there in the blind the first morning, and we look up and we're like, oh, there's some ducks, and then our guide is just wailing on his call, and we're like, what in the world? Will said something. He was like, you think you're gonna it might not have been like this snarky, but he was like, you think you're gonna pull him away from there?
Yeah.
And he goes, oh buddy, you watch. And like, the next flock that he did it to, he pulled like 2 off that came down, did it dirty, and we swacked them. Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
It's just a completely different type of hunting. The calling's completely different. The setup's completely different. They hunt the same spot, all the time.
Yeah.
And they traffic birds. Big spreads, a lot of calling.
So you hunted the same blind every day?
Yep.
Wow.
First day we shot 16s, pretty decent day.
How many guys in your group?
We had 4, and then two guides technically. So
Okay.
Our main guide and then our helpmate, pretty much. And then
I mean, is the limit still 4, or what is it?
it's 6.
Okay.
Yeah. So
6 mallards or 6 birds?
6 birds.
Okay. Yeah. Same as Michigan.
Right.
So you guys shot some mallards. Will also sent me a picture of the golden eye.
Yeah, plumed out hen, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was sweet.
And that was like 2 days after I shot mine. So
Yeah,
it was, just
it was
crazy
pretty
timing.
cool.
Any other species?
Yeah, they have a ton of gadwall down there. They've got spoonies. They've got a ton of birds. A ton of different types of birds. Like, way more than us. They've got a lot more variety, which I think is cool.
Okay.
You'll hear specks and snow geese all day long.
Really?
Yeah. They'll be those guys will be high. Those guys are migrating
they're not coming
around.
down.
Yeah, they say you'll get them on the open water,
Okay.
but in the hole we were in, no.
So what was your favorite harvest of the hunts that you did?
There was a greenhead that was super pretty, but that golden eye is pretty sweet because they actually said that they could count on one hand the amount of times they've seen a golden eye shot.
Really?
Like, any of the guides shot off of that lake, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, unique.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we can shoot them up here. Like, we know a lot of guys that have shot them, but for it being that rare down there, that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so 16 the first day. That's a pretty good haul.
Yeah.
I mean, what about day 2 and 3?
It got rough because the first day it was like 14, 15 degrees, so really cold, a lot of ice. And
did you guys have to bust ice to make a hole? Or?
So they have ice heaters. It's like a fan underneath. They'll push water, keep it circulating.
Yep.
So we had a hole, and I think that's one of the reasons it got, it was pretty good that day.
Mm-hmm.
But
they forced them. Yeah.
But as the lake started to open from the warm weather and stuff, it got slower and slower, and the flying kept on, decreasing. And so the second day we shot 4, and the third day we shot 4, but the second day we saw a lot of birds and they just weren't interested. And then the third day we didn't see many birds, but the birds we did see were pretty interested. So, you win some, you lose some. But
how long would you stay out there?
all day. So from we'd get up at 4:30, meet the guide at the dock at 5, and then we'd go out to the channel, which is across the lake, get into the timber, and then once we're in the timber, they actually had an incident where these guys left the dam open or something like that, where they lost like 2 foot of water.
Oh no!
And so we needed to take a boat with like a flat bottom boat, not a V-hull, a flat bottom boat with a mud motor on it, to the blind so that we could actually make it. So
wow,
yeah.
And then so you stay out there until
3:00.
Wow.
Yeah.
Would you ever see birds in like the mid to late afternoon?
Yeah. You would see them, not as thick. There's definitely a lull right around 12 to 1, but
yeah.
The first day, that's right around when the lull was, and then at 1, and they'd start picking up back up, because shooting time actually ends at 3 on that lake.
Really?
Yeah. So I would say it's probably 45 minutes to an hour earlier than it would be for the rest of the state. But yeah, it's just they try to keep the conservation, because they want the birds to still come there at some point.
Right.
So literally at 3:00, the birds will start flying again. Like there's another push of birds.
Is there a part of the lake that is like more of a refuge? Just you can't touch it?
Yep. There's 2. I'm not positive. I'm pretty sure there's 2 refuges. So there's one on the north side, and then one on the south, or one, something like that.
Okay.
One on the north side, one on the west side, something like that.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
All right. And then were the guides running dogs?
Nope. They'd go. You just shoot them, and then they'd go around on their boat and round them up. So
yeah. Did you have to do any work, or did you just sit back and let them do it all?
It's so hard, man, because we were like, man, I was like, I'd like to help, but but I mean, that's what we're paying them to do. So we'd get our guns and help transfer stuff, but they pretty much wanted to do all the work. So.
And do they reset the decoys every morning? They
No,
just leave them out.
They set them out there in I think they said something like August.
Get out and just leave them.
As soon as they know what blind they're hunting, which guide is, they get all of the decoys out there and they set them and they leave them until the end of season.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How unique. I mean, that is just totally different than what we do.
I know. So it was a really cool experience. We watch videos, I mean, my generation kind of, the whole Duck Dynasty crowd got us into duck hunting.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how it was, I think. And that's kind of the hunting they do. So it's kind of cool to see the hunting that, we don't see up here.
Yeah. And I mean, these, and like you were kind of alluding to earlier, these aren't guys that just got into the sport or whatever. I mean, this is a generational thing for them.
It is.
And,
yep.
Were the guys younger or older?
I'd say one guy was in his early 30s, and then our other guide was probably in his mid 40s. Okay. I'd say. Yeah.
Cool.
But they've been hunting the lake their whole life.
Right.
Yeah.
And they know it.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. They know. I know. It's like a small fishing town in the UP, but it's a small duck hunting town in Tennessee. It's kind of cool.
So let me ask you this, because I just think about stuff like this sometimes. So your brother and I, Keaton, we went out the last morning of Michigan's regular season, and then he went out that evening with your other brother, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
And they whacked the mallards on the creek. Now that you've gotten a taste of Tennessee, you've gotten even a taste of like the whole guide experience. I've hunted with you. You know how to hunt. You can do it yourself. Mm-hmm. Like, would you do it again, or would you just stay put and finish out the regular season here when things are kind of in the prime?
If I was gonna leave, I'd probably go and DIY it.
Yeah,
I love DIY hunts so much. It's just something about going out there not knowing what's gonna happen, and it's cheaper. It's super affordable. You can make it super affordable. Yeah, I mean, it was fun.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. But yeah, I'd probably just DIY it next time. Okay. But to finish out our season, This year, probably, because this year was like so good at the end, dude. Yeah. Everything was locked up. You could go find a river and whack them, but
yeah,
that's okay. I was really happy I went.
No,
a lot of cool memories, a lot of good experience, being able to, yeah, it was awesome.
And you were with a great crew of guys too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that makes it 10 times better for
yep.
sure. Cool. Well, let's also talk because you harvested a nice buck this year. We posted some pictures on our social media. If you're following on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, you definitely saw Carter and his deer. Let's talk about that. That kill was mid to late October.
October 30th.
Oh, wow. Late October. Okay. Yeah. Just walk us through it.
Yeah. So I was having a tough year. I was harvesting beans, so in the morning you can kind of get out for a couple hours after light. But I was having a tough year. My spots weren't really doing too great. There wasn't many options.
You were hunting a decent amount.
Yeah, I was hunting a fair amount, 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Getting up early, kind of, cranking it out. But it just was not good. I was not seeing, I didn't have a deer in range until that day. And so I was kind of getting a little discouraged, but, in years past, my first bow buck, I was also getting discouraged, but I just kept grinding. Like, usually that's when something good can happen, when you're down and you're like, oh man, that's usually when something fun happens.
I'd agree.
So that morning I actually woke up. I didn't even wake up to my alarm. I was just like sleeping in. I woke up and I'm like, I'm going to be so mad at myself if I don't go. I'm like, I know I'm going to kick myself because this is, peak rut. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful weather out. I'm like, I'm just going to go. So I started walking out to my stand, and I got into the stand at 7:20.
Oh, man.
Or like 7:15. But I have a really good spot because in that spot, my wind was perfect. I knew that. And then I've got, kind of a hill to go under. The deer up here, and then I have a hill that I can go around and then get up in my tree, on the east side of the field. So I was like, I've got good access even if they are out there. So I got out there without spooking a thing, and I got in my stand. There's 5 deer out there already. I'm like, oh, okay. And I hear, this buck grunting and running around, and we had just harvested that field, and so they were, getting what we missed and stuff, and so they were kind of, ramped up and ready to go because that field had been on there longer than it usually is. Yeah. So it kind of threw them off, I think, too. And so, this is one of the first days it was all off, so they were excited to, be able to actually see because it was corn, so it was pretty tall. And so I was like, oh, this could get good. And so they were running around, and then it got light, and I'm like, oh, that buck looks pretty good. And I was like going back and forth. I could not really tell, if he was good or not. And then he chased this doe, and I was like, Lord, if you bring him in range, I'll shoot him, because I was like, this is good enough for me. So he chased this doe into the woods, and I was like, I knew he was going to go in the woods. So I was like, I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to do something to get his attention to know that I'm over here. So I bleated at him twice just with my mouth. I don't have a call, so I was like, I'm just going to try to bleed at him. Bleed at him twice. He gave me a good look. I'm like, okay, that's good enough for me. He ran off into the woods, lost the doe. And I'm like, all right, we'll see what happens. Not 5 minutes later, I look in the corner, and, 80 yards away, there he is standing there. I'm like, okay. So I bleeded on my offside shoulder from him a couple more times, and he came walking right into 20 yards along the fence row.
Here.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you bleeded with your mouth.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Went back to when my dad, he had his hunting pack, and he had this little doe and estrus can, and whenever you tipped it over, and so
I got one of the big ones.
Oh yeah. And so me and my brother would always just try to replicate the sound. And I have shot 2 bucks off of calling them in with my mouth. With my bow. So like right into bow range.
I don't know what it is,
Call me stupid because I've never heard of anyone doing that, but
no.
It
Zero.
works.
Well, you make me laugh because I have a really good buddy, Ruben, who he's been on the podcast too, and he is a heck of a turkey caller with his mouth. He doesn't use any mouth calls or anything.
That's wild.
So I got a buddy who can turkey call with just his mouth, and now a buddy that dope bleats with just his mouth.
I can't butt grunt, so if they want to fight, I can't do that.
Oh man,
yeah,
that's wild.
And I really do think that'll only work if they're being super stupid in the rut.
Oh, like October 30th,
you get lucky.
It really was a peak rut day because I'm a full believer that the rut came 3 or 4 days earlier than it normally did this year.
Yep.
And so that was a prime day, which I think we've mentioned it before. I mean, you killed first.
No, Will did.
Will killed first.
So I got the text, and I was on my phone when I looked over and saw it. I was like,
my gosh.
He got a buck. And I look over, I'm like,
I'm about to get a buck.
I actually had it typed out in my phone, and then I was like, what am I doing? I'm like, I can't celebrate before it happens, or else it's not going to happen.
How far was the shot?
22 yards.
Man.
Yeah.
Did it pass through?
Yeah, perfect shot.
How long did he run?
He probably ran a good 100 yards, 120 yards.
Did you watch him tip over?
Oh, yeah.
That is the best thing
I know.
ever.
Yeah, he died in the field.
I see where I hunt. I don't really get that privilege because I'm hunting on such a hilly terrain.
Yeah.
And they usually book it down the hill and cut to where I can't see him at all. So I've only watched him tip gun season. And I've never, well, I take it back. I did shoot one off of like our camp property that I got to watch tip over in the field, but that's a unique unique situation. So, but it's fun.
Perfect cordon away shot. Lined my pin up on his offside leg and smoked him. I love a quartering away shot. I don't know why. There's just something about it. Mm-hmm. It's like, you actually got to think about it a little bit. It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of like are connecting the dots. Like, okay, this is where it's going to enter, but where is it going to exit?
And be able to think about that when you're in your stand, being like, I got to aim for an exit. It's just fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. And you measured him, and it turned out to be what?
118, I think.
Yeah.
Almost 120.
Great.
Yeah. He looks bigger than that, I thought. This was the only buck I've ever walked up on, and he grew on me.
Huh.
I walked up on him, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, I thought I shot like, kind of like a normal 3-year-old, but he had some really good mass, really wide.
Well, I felt pretty darn good about the 108.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, add 10 more inches to that guy, and you're looking pretty
Absolutely.
good. I saw a funny Instagram reel this week where it was like reviewing my, hunting goals for the season. And so this guy has, all these check boxes with things written next to him. And he's like, kill a 200-inch deer. And he crosses off the 2 and writes a 1 and then checks the box. Well, yeah, that's relatable.
We start with the 100 in Michigan, though, and then we go down to like 60.
Yeah, that's a fact. Awesome. Well, just a quick outdoors update for me. Got the new Matthews Arc. Super stoked about that. Been working on getting that sighted in. Did a lot of shooting today. Just feel way better with the whole shorter axle to axle. We did Mitchell's video last week. Posted that. People are watching it. Some of the comments they crack me up. This one guy, he commented today, and he was like, "You are way overbowed," and I think he was referring to
the weight.
The pole weight, because I think Mitch is pulling 85, and he comments that Mitch is like shaking when he's pulling it or whatever.
Yeah. And
I commented back and I said, well, a week before this, he was shooting 85 with his lift, and he dropped a deer at 60 yards.
Yeah.
So I think he's good.
And he went through both shoulders.
Right. Yeah. Oh, well, exactly.
Lower shoulders, not scapula, but through the lower shoulders.
Yeah. And so there's a reason why you do stuff like this.
Right. And
he was successful. And so I made that comment. The guy's like, I don't understand why that has anything to do with it. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going to argue with you on YouTube. But so that's been entertaining.
Yeah.
We had fun with that video. And I feel way better with the whole shorter axle to axle. You shoot it.
I love it. 29.5.
Yeah.
The lift. First year lift, 29.5. And I just love the size of it. Because if you ever go stalking, it is way nicer to have. I just like having, or if you're in blinds, turkey hunting, stuff like that. I love it.
And then for Christmas dinner, my family's here. They're upstairs pounding around. But we did a Christmas dinner tonight. My mom made ham, and then I did venison tenderloins.
Oh, I love it.
And I made up a rub, and then I pan-seared them, and I cooked them to 135.
Yep.
They turned out phenomenal.
I love it.
It was so good.
My favorite.
You know, and I was sitting there, and I was cutting up, I was putting them in my mouth, and I was chewing, and I felt like I was just like in my tree stand reliving the hunt. You know, while I was doing it. You know, just
you get all giddy.
Yeah, just like I know exactly which deer this is, what moment. I mean, this is this year's.
You're just
buck.
Replaying the shot to your mind.
Yeah,
I love that.
So good.
Oh man, that's one of the best parts is being able to eat it after. It's just being like, hey, I put this on the table. That's fun.
Yeah, especially for like a special occasion. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
and we got the split coming up 27th, 28th. Are you planning on hunting?
Yeah, we'll probably do a lot of fun that weekend.
I blocked those 2 days off.
Yep.
So I got to get scouting. I mean, we're rapidly approaching that.
And it's warm, which is not good, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't know if water will open up again or not.
We'll see. It's pretty locked up still.
Yeah.
So
Bear Lake had 5 inches of ice on it 2
really?
days ago.
Wow.
Which was crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. But there are definitely some lakes, you know, I'm on a lot of the local outdoor pages, and they were like yelling at guys to stay off the ice for ice fishing because it was starting to get pretty thin.
Yeah, I don't blame them because you'll see some of those guys.
Oh my gosh.
They're squeezing it out, and I'm just like, it's not worth it.
No.
I mean, ice fishing it's fun, but it's not that fun.
No.
Like,
and it's definitely not fun when you fall through.
To risk your life? Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm good on all that. I don't know if I sent it to you or not. Cousin Freddie.
Yeah.
Oh, Crazy Fred.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a buddy who runs a guide service up in the UP, and his buddy just bought this ice shanty that you drag out there. It's like a trailer on skids.
Heck yeah.
And it has 2 full beds in it,
yep.
a 55-inch TV, a heater, and it's got 5 holes lined up on each bedside that you can just lay in there.
See, that's my type of ice fishing.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not a whole up on this ice fishing thing, but I do that in a heartbeat.
I agree. So I'm not big on the whole. I like ice fishing. I just don't, I don't do it a whole lot. I've never really got into them ice fishing, so that's probably another reason why. But
and this year it's only $150 a night too. I mean, it's not bad at all.
Yeah.
To do that, so I don't know.
That's not bad.
I might find myself in an ice shanty one of these days.
Need to get up there as Freddie.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, hey, we're gonna take a quick break here from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
We like to thank our sponsors, Chops & Co. Public Market. Chops & Co. specializes in locally grown, responsibly raised, high-quality pork products, direct from their farm to your table. Located in Jones, Michigan, give them a call at 269-244-1999.
Such a good hobby.
So expensive.
Way too expensive.
All right, we're back, and we just want to end this podcast because I mentioned earlier, time of taping is December 23rd. We have Christmas coming up, and one of the things I just appreciate, specifically about my wife's side of the family, is we take time just to recognize, like, hey, yeah, we're opening gifts, we're spending time as a family, but there really is a true meaning behind what we're doing here, and it's been really fun having kids in this season, too, because while, yeah, they're super excited about the presents, and that is sometimes their main focus. Yeah, they go to a Christian school, so yeah, guilty as charged too. But they go to a Christian school. We go to church every Sunday and every Wednesday, and so they hear it. And Calvin, we were kind of just reviewing the Christmas story the other day, and his papa asked, why do we celebrate Christmas? And he just shouted from the lungs, just real loud of, it's Jesus' birthday. And so that's fun. But, one of the things that we kind of just talked about, my father-in-law pointed this out too, and it really just kind of connected with what I think we try to do here. And, we do a hunting podcast, but it's not the main focus. I hope if there's guys listening who really enjoy the hunting aspect, that they stay for this segment too of all right, what is different about these guys? What is fueling this passion, this community? whatever, and it's our relationship with Christ.
Yeah.
And so for us, this is a super significant holiday because it is the birth of our Savior. And, when we think of like just the life that we do deserve because of the sin in our life, I mean, we deserve hell. And because of God's graciousness through the gift of his son, Jesus, we get to have eternity, and it's free.
Yeah.
And you don't get that in any other religion. You have to work for it. You have to earn it. You have to deserve it. And that is just not, that's not the religion we follow.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that my father-in-law pointed out is, you look at how God sent the angel to talk to Mary, to talk to Joseph, to talk to the shepherds, and proclaiming this, announcing that, hey, this significant event is getting ready to take place, this true event. And it always starts with, do not be afraid. And what stands out to me in that is, hey, this is the climax of the gospel. I mean, other than the cross, I mean, God taking on flesh in the form of an infant, like that is the next biggest thing here. It's this entry into the world, and which makes the cross even possible. And it's this thought of like, do not be afraid. And my encouragement is this: if you have been toying around with religion, if you dabble with church, you go to church on Christmas, on Easter, or whatever, but you haven't fully committed your life to Christ yet, do not be afraid. I mean, take that step, that leap, because I can tell you, it is forever life changing for the better, and I'm sure you would agree.
Absolutely. I think, what you said about fear is, awesome, because I think the devil likes to use fear in our lives every day. Like our pastor was talking about it this last Sunday. He was, had a message about like, just fear and anxiety. It's just like, he's called the Prince of Peace for a reason. Like it's, he came into this world to, die for the sins of his people. Not so they could live in fear, not so they could, live in bondage, but so they could have freedom, and they could have peace and comfort. I'm not that it's going to be, always perfect,
right.
But just not having fear. And then, your point to like, it could be scary to take, that leap of faith. And, but, we're here to say, it's so worth it.
Absolutely.
There's times in my life where I grew up in such a kind of religious household that it wasn't my own faith, and it was, kind of my parents' faith. And I got to the point where I'm like, am I even a Christian? And it got to the point where I was like, that's all I could think about. And I had so much anxiety, and then I got to the point where I just like, some people advise against this, but I think that, the Holy Spirit can use anything to, kind of, get your attention. I opened my Bible to Psalm 91, and it's all about like, how the Lord is our provider and our protector. He is almighty. And, like it just unfolds, and all my anxiety went away, and he just proved to me that, he was the Prince of Peace. And so that was like a big part of my story. It was like how fear and doubt crept in, and it was keeping me back from having a relationship with Christ.
Yeah, and it's like God met you that moment and was like, hey, what you and I have is real.
Right.
Don't allow Satan to tell you otherwise.
Exactly. Yeah, because it's like that was the moment where my relationship with him started growing, and not that I didn't have one,
right?
But it was genuinely a point of like, like if you follow, it says, he who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. Like, how powerful is that? And of course that's David talking, but that's him like realizing that, the Lord, he takes me under his wing, he protects me from the arrows that fly from my enemies. And I think that's such a beautiful thing, and something that the Lord, wants to free us from, on the other side of salvation. And, for sure people before salvation. That's what he's trying to, give them freedom from.
Yeah. I love that concept of the Prince of Peace, and I think we can just end on that note of, man, we get to celebrate because the Prince of Peace is coming. I mean, it has come and is coming again. And, that was another thing that we just mentioned is, God came in such a a peaceful, unique way, in such a almost like extreme gentleness and
Such humility.
Yeah. And what I just want people to realize and really grasp is like, hey, he's coming back.
Yeah.
But when he comes back a second time, he's not coming the way he came the first time.
No.
It's just not reality.
He's coming with a sword.
Like a roaring lion.
Yeah.
and he's coming in, man. He's victorious. And so we get to celebrate in that victory this Christmas season.
Absolutely.
So Merry Christmas from the Forest and Sky crew, from the Young Buck,
Absolutely.
Old Buck podcast crew. I'm sure if Old Buck was sitting here, he'd say Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. And we just really appreciate you guys listening, and we're excited to enter into 2026 and keep this ball rolling. And
Heck yeah.
man, the Lord's blessed us this past year.
Such a good season, dude.
Good season, great harvest. I mean,
Yeah.
Carter and I were talking about some specific hunts on the break, but even just the growth in the channel, some different things
Some
too.
cool things happening.
Yeah, just some really cool networking things. So thanks for the support, and we will catch you guys next time. Merry Christmas.
See ya.